With the wiring finished under the saddle and around the battery box and such, I decided to just tar up the bike and see what it looks like. So started off here putting the saddle on. It's simply putting the hinges on and flopping it into place. I think it's a good idea to stop every now and then, dress it up a bit, have a look, make sure everything's going to plan and it all looks tidy and up to standard, you know. The tank rubbers were put in position. There's a little tip here to hold them in place, just a couple of winds of insulating tape just to hold them in place so that they don't shift when you put the tank on. The tank can be fiddly enough. I know this is a trial fit, so I didn't bother with the centre bolt, as it will have to come off later. It's not been finished polishing or anything like that. It's flat, but it's not been polished. And it's also a good opportunity to just see what needs replacing, and again, as you put it together, you'll find certain bits just aren't up to standard. The seat catch on the saddle, for instance, is crap, to be honest, so I shall have to make a new one of them. The side panels are going on here. They're held in place with two little springs. Very simple. Again, just gives the bike a bit of a look so you can see how you're progressing along. As I was polishing this, the courier delivered the two rims for it. They're from the Devon Rim Company and they call them budget rims. I thought I'd have to polish them, but they're absolutely excellent. Well worth the money. No work required. Now we're back to proper work, shall we call it. This is the front master cylinder. Again, pain in the arse. You've got to be patient with this thing to take it apart, and they are so expensive to replace. The first thing you do is you drill out the little stud that holds the alignment of the master cylinder. Then, as you saw there, you heat up the aluminium until the thread release burns out and you can unscrew the barrel. It looks simple, but you have to be very careful. You're continually heating and cooling, plenty of penetrating oil, and eventually it will loosen off. After that, it's a simple case of getting out the seals inside. This one here was a bit tricky. As you can see here with the Dremel, there's a bit of rust right where the circlip groove is. The piston would come down far enough to hit the rust and no further. The actual bore is in good nick. It's just on the very end where the dust cover is supposed to keep out the crap above the circlip. And of course the dust cap has perished and the damp has got in. Again, being very careful, don't over whack it, just gently tap it, move it backwards and forwards, plenty of penetrating oil, and eventually the piston will pop out. And there we are, patience rewarded. The piston has popped out. There's a bit of corrosion on the very end where the little socket, ball socket is, but serviceable with new seals, so thankfully I won't have to get a new one. I do understand they do a stainless steel barrel for them, but I'd rather get this one back to its good condition. Anyway, continuing on, there's pipe unions and bits of pipe and all the rest of it, levers to be polished. I like this particular model because it has alloy levers, so it's a very simple case of just bringing them to the polishing mop and giving them a good going over. So while doing the brake lever, I of course included the clutch lever. When I refitted the clutch lever, I noticed that the little bush, you know, the little brass bush that goes in the eye of the lever, has either gone missing or was never there in the first place. Neither would surprise me. So a quick visit to the lathe to turn up a new bush, and that's basically where I finished for the evening. It's getting dark, the evenings are coming in and it's getting cold, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching.